Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And I gotta start with this from XRP Wins. For the first time, Goldman Sachs acknowledges crypto in annual shareholder letter. Goldman Sachs mentioned cryptocurrencies in its letter, acknowledging their increasing role in financial markets and competition, while highlighting the growing adoption of blockchain and digital assets. The firm warned about potential risks, including cybersecurity vulnerabilities and market volatility. They always talk about volatility. But Goldman Sachs, they've been moving in the background this entire time. But finally, they're starting to openly talk about crypto. This is from 2021. Goldman Sachs 2021 presentation deck, slide 36. And you see they mention Ripple, Circle, and Coinbase. Banks join RippleNet to process cross-border payments in real time, with end-to-end tracking and certainty, available in 55 plus countries across 6 continents. RippleNet makes it easy to connect and transact across a robust network of financial institutions. With RippleNet, financial institutions can expand payment offerings into new markets that are otherwise difficult or expensive to reach. And that was back in 2021. Now think about what Ripple has done since then, all throughout the entire bear market. Made acquisitions, opened up all kinds of rails all around the world, acquired money transmitter license all throughout the United States and even in other countries as well. Ripple has had non-stop expansion since then. Ripple is 100% working with Goldman Sachs. Here's an ex-Goldman Sachs employee now working at Ripple as a sales director. Wonder who he's selling to. And you see Kirk Stokes right there. But Ripple has so many connections and so many NDAs. Wait until all those NDAs are made public. Wait until those big announcements start dropping. And people still don't see where XRP is going. Ripple has been putting everything in place for over a decade. There's never going to be an alternative to RippleNet or XRP. RippleNet is fixing Swift. It's giving people an alternative to Swift. XRP is on the verge of becoming the world's global bridge currency. It can move anything of value. The S&P 500 adds over $1 trillion of market cap and officially posts its best day of 2025. Remember that major sell-off that happened and the major dip in crypto? And I said the day that was happening, everything's going to do a full 180 from here. These dips shake out the weak hands. People panic sell because they don't realize what they're holding. Everything turns around, including the stock market. First, real estate, real world asset pool repayment complete on XRP Ledger. Alicia finally completed their very first real estate, real world asset pool repayment. And we're going to see more of this going forward. Tokenization of real estate is the next step forward. And as that starts to pick up a lot of momentum, you're going to see so many different things happen. First of all, I think a lot of properties are going to get revalued. I think you're also going to have to make sure you're not buying a tokenized piece of real estate when you're buying a house. I think a lot is going to change and people are going to have to keep up with it or they're going to get caught off guard by it. When they say that everything is going to be a token, What about the houses people own right now? How are they going to tokenize those houses? I think it's going to start with tokenization options, like people will have the ability to maybe put 10% of their property value up to be tokenized. And I'm sure they'll get all kinds of rewards for doing that. But what about if you're buying a house and that house has already been tokenized? You would have to acquire 100% of the tokens associated with that house, is what I'm thinking. I want to see where this all goes from here. But it's nice to see people are finally making money off real world assets on the XRP ledger. Top wealth manager Linda P. Jones says Bitcoin Maxis will regret not investing in XRP. So in a tweet, Bitcoin investor Short Vader claimed he converted all his Bitcoin holdings to XRP last year. This revelation comes amid Linda's tweet, which highlighted the strong demand for XRP due to multiple filings for XRP ETFs. Linda reiterated that many Bitcoin maxis will regret not diversifying their portfolios to include XRP this year. In response, Vader pointed out that he made the conversion last year. Reacting to this, the financial expert praised the decision as a smart move. You know, if you made money in Bitcoin last year, why would you not shift that money into XRP, knowing that these ETFs are going to go live? Everybody was so up in arms about the Bitcoin ETFs. Remember, that was the greatest thing that could ever happen to Bitcoin. Well, if you've seen that and you made money off of that, why would you not shift that money? And to be Bitcoin only, I think a lot of these people are going to end up getting wrecked, because now the institutions, they're pulling out of Bitcoin. They're moving on. And I think a lot of the big bag holders are banking on a government bailout to get them out of Bitcoin. Because if they were to sell, the market on Bitcoin would absolutely tank. And if the market on Bitcoin tanks, if the price tanks out, right away the belief in Bitcoin ends. And maybe they only sell a quarter of their holdings. So what do they do then with the other 75%? That would be trapped in Bitcoin until the price recovers, if it ever reaches these price points again. There's too much fake tether propping up Bitcoin is what I'm saying. And that's why people are trapped in it. That's why they're looking for a government bailout. Multi-year bull market. You mentioned $70 trillion. I think those people are going to eventually have 5% of their portfolios in crypto. Take a listen to this.
What that tells me, again, is this is a multi-year bull market. The other thing I would call out, you mentioned $70 trillion. I think those people are eventually going to have 5% of their portfolios in crypto. That's $3.5 trillion. That's more than the total market cap today. Think about that much money trying to flood into this space, right? I think that's what you're going to see. Even though the spigots are only open a little bit, so far this year, ETFs have bought about 40,000 Bitcoin. Corporations have bought about 50,000 Bitcoin. The Bitcoin network has produced about 18,000 Bitcoin. So even though we're only open this much, it's 90,000 Bitcoin of demand against 18,000 Bitcoin of supply. When you think about that $70 trillion finally getting their taps on, I think people underestimate.
I just don't see that money ending up in Bitcoin. The narrative is not there for it. Everybody sees what's going on now. And I think it's because of the market manipulation on Bitcoin. I think that scared a lot of people away. I think most of the OG Bitcoin holders, they pivoted. We've seen that with other Bitcoin holders that started making content on XRP. And then beyond that, I think utility is going to start driving demand for XRP as well. Because once people start to see utility kick in and real value showing up in XRP, that smart money is going to be gone. It's going to go to where the real value is. On-chain data confirms that smart money has strategically positioned their capital in XRP in anticipation of major regulatory developments, including the resolution of the SEC case, ETF approvals, and upcoming partnership announcements. And this is all documented. You know, people think like people just make up this narrative, but this is documents that show the shift already happening. The money moving from one asset to another. The demand moving away from one asset into another. Breaking news, XRP coming to X soon with newly confirmed X payments. Take a listen to this.
Media app X wants to become a super app and expand its reach with plans to release a payment system later this year. The CEO of X, Linda Yaccarino, posting that X money will, quote, connect you in ways never thought possible.
So we know X payments are coming, and everyone still speculates that XRP is going to be part of this payment system. And I would agree with that. That would be a smart move by Elon Musk to use the best payment system out there, RippleNet and XRP. And think about how cheap payments would be made and how fast it would be happening. Plus Ripple shifting towards micropayments. I think that's going to be a big move if X goes in that direction, if Elon pushes in that direction. But it's too soon to say it's confirmed. I keep seeing people saying it's confirmed that XRP is going to be used. We really don't know that yet. The chances, in my opinion, of that happening are probably about 90% right now, until Elon comes out and finally says they're going to utilize XRP. And I want to talk about XLM for a minute, because I know most of you have diversified a long time ago into XLM. So the silent revolution, while crypto focuses on memes, major financial institutions are tokenizing trillions in assets on Stellar. This is happening right now, and most investors have no idea. Franklin Templeton, one of the world's largest asset managers, has tokenized their U.S. government money fund on Stellar. Not a test, not a pilot, live on Stellar today. This is institutional money in motion. Big things are happening for XLM as well. XLM is an ISO 222 cryptocurrency. It's going to run side by side with XRP. But I see so many people now saying, sell your XLM, go all in on this or go all in on that. I want to tell you my position on XLM is I am still very bullish on where XLM goes. I know it's going to run up with XRP. They run together all the time. But I'm looking beyond that. XLM was chosen for the future. World Bank has cited XLM. BIS cited XLM. ECB talked about XLM. IMF. All of them have mentioned it. So I look at it as part of the future as well. And the reason I wanted to point that out is I always see these people, they'll talk about XRP versus XLM. They are not fighting each other. And then for some reason, they want to tag me in it. Like I'm going to come and just back XRP automatically. I love both of these cryptocurrencies. And if you want to double dip on your investment, I would definitely hold both XRP and XLM. I just wanted to see more big announcements for Stellar. I want to see the growth that's happening around Stellar. I want those big announcements to happen because this way people will start to realize that XLM is not a dead cryptocurrency at all. Big things are happening in the background. And I think the price of XLM right now is not the true price of XLM. I think it's going to be much higher. But I just wanted to point that out in this video. But like I always tell you, until it happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.